Welcome to Game with Care, a channel where we talk about the elephant in the board game room. But, but what is the elephant? Do we really need to talk about it? Like, if we ignore it, is it really there? Can we just go in the next room and play games with our good old friend Denial? All the answers in today's video. Let's get political, political. I wanna get political. Let's get into political still. Bonjour, hi, my name is Sissi, my pronouns are she, her, they, them, et elle en français avec les accords féminins quand la neutralité n'existe pas et non, le masculin n'est pas neutre. If you didn't get a word of what I just said right here, then this is your cue to turn your subtitles on. Everything will be translated in the subtitles. I want to make sure that all my videos have accurate subtitles for accessibility reasons. So tant qu'à y être, I will be translating everything in French and English. And I will make sure to never post a video without accurate subtitles. So today's video is an introduction to a series of videos that I call Care Building Strategies. And I thought that it was really important to start with this and to talk about why board gamers need to talk about politics. Because politics, if you haven't figured it out yet, was the elephant I was talking about. So today I want to talk about how inclusion without politics is actually just another fancy word that just sounds better than tolerance, and that we need to go beyond that. I want to talk about how denial is actually not our friend, and what are the consequences of us not talking, not addressing the violences in our community. What are the consequences of not talking about politics, so we can know why we need to talk about politics. So first, inclusiveness. I do believe that it is a flawed concept. I don't believe in inclusion. I don't believe this is the way. And let me explain why. For there to be inclusion, there needs to be an exclusive space. In this case, the board gaming community, because it was built for white men. It was built with white men's comfort in mind. Mostly white, straight, cisgender men. Cisgender meaning that you identify with a gender that was assigned to you at birth. So inclusion means that we're taking this space, this exclusive space, and we're saying like, okay, you want, you can come now. Well, whatever. Just come in. You're welcome, but just make sure that you're not too loud, not too much. Like, don't be too gay, don't be too black. You wouldn't want to make other people feel uncomfortable, would you? Who are these people that will feel uncomfortable? They are white people, they are straight people, they are cisgender people, they are men people. You get it. Quite frankly, I don't want to be included in a space that was not built for marginalized people. I don't want to be included in a space that puts white men's comfort in front of everybody else's. I don't want to be included in a space that calls violences humor or just jokes. And I don't want to be included in a space where talking about LGBTQ people, talking about Black, Indigenous, people of color, safety, and rights are tagged as political stuff that we should not be talking about because we just want to have fun. Because right now inclusion actually puts us in danger. Because you are inviting us into a space that is not ready to address its violence, into a space that is not ready to talk about politics, to talk about human rights, that is not ready to care for our safety. And for us to just have fun, it is not possible right now. Because we are in a constant state of hypervigilance. And I don't know if you know this, but hypervigilance and escaping real life and just having fun those two don't go well together. They are not compatible pantoutes. So we need to do something about it. We need to go beyond inclusiveness. We need to take actions. That brings me to denial. Denial will not make violences and microaggression go away. So we need to acknowledge those violences. We need to acknowledge those power dynamics that are everywhere. They follow us everywhere. And yes, it includes the board game table. And this is why we need to talk about politics. Some people might try to convince you that talking about political stuff, talking politics is what creates tensions. But trust me, those tensions, they are here and they already exist. And ignoring them, it's not a magic spell that will make them disappear. In fact, it is what actually feeds them, what actually keeps them alive, what actually allows them to breed and grow and take more and more and more space. And if you'd rather ignore all of this, you need to ask yourself, why is it easier for me to ignore those violences? Is it because they don't affect me? Well, not in a negative way. Is it even because I may benefit from them and I'm not ready to let go of those benefits? And we have to remember that something that does not affect us does not mean that it does not affect anybody. Because this whole thing about not talking politics, it affects marginalized people. It actually puts marginalized people at risk. J'exagère pas, là. It kills people. Voluntarily ignoring violences and not addressing them and never talking about them and denying their existence is killing people. Maybe not on the board game table, but it is still killing people. And when we claim to be a part of a community, it should not mean that there is a community that is there for us to take from, take and take and take without ever giving back. A community needs all its members to give and take. This is what a community is. And we should care about other members of that community, because without other people, there is no community. I hate to break it to you, but a community by yourself, not possible. I will go as far as to say that this is how we're gonna make this community grow. Not by slowly tricking people into playing Gloomhaven or Pret-à-Porter, but by being a community people want to be a part of, a community people feel safe in. Because at the end of the day, it does not matter how many people we trick into playing heavier games. If we invite people into a community they do not feel safe in, they will sell their games and they will walk away. So to recap all of this, inclusiveness without the will to take action and to change our ways leads us nowhere. And denial and ignoring things are actually violence's greatest allies. So we need to talk about politics. We need to care enough to learn, to want to do, to learn to do better, to be better as individuals, but also as a community together. So this is what I want this channel to be about. This is what this Care Building Strategies video series is about. It's about taking actions. This is about actual things that we can do and that we can learn that can help us be better. I want us to talk about how can our learning process be less destructive. I want us to talk about how can we learn in a more caring way, to talk about how to react when someone tells us that our jokes are actually hurtful, or how to explain privileges to a board gamer, how to make game nights safer for trans and gender non-conforming people, And I also want to talk about what do those words mean? What does it what does this all mean? I want us to be able to learn together. I want us to talk about ways that we can improve our spaces, online spaces and physical spaces, to make them more accessible for people with disabilities, mais aussi au sens large. I want us to be able to talk about all of this. I want to create a space where we feel safe, where we can care together, where we can share our knowledge, where we can learn together. And I'm including myself because I may be queer, but I'm white, and my queerness does not erase my whiteness, and I still benefit from white supremacy. And I have to be able to acknowledge this to move forward and to take actions that are non destructive, that are caring. And we all need to do so. And I hope we can build a space where we can share what we learn and where we can talk about all of this. And if you want to be a part of this space, if you want to join me into this journey, uh, please consider subscribing, liking, and sharing this video. And tell me in the comments, what do you think our community needs to work on? What do you think uh, we need to learn to be more aware of? And is there a topic in what I just mentioned that you are very excited about? And maybe it's the next one that I'll do. I'll probably do the learning in a caring way first because it's like the second part of this introduction into care building. But next one is your pick. So till next time, please game with care. Et à la revoyure.